4 bloody brilliant games. I'm Sam. These are Week's headlines. We begin this week with news that Microsoft is set to lay off 10,000 employees, about 4.5% of the company's entire staff. Microsoft didn't immediately identify which areas of the business will be impacted by the announcements. It was later reported by games industry scoop king Jason Schreier that Bethesda Game Studios and 343 Industries were affected. In addition, Microsoft's HoloLens business and some engineering divisions were also reportedly part of the cuts. While Kotaku claimed that a number of developers at the Coalition, the Canada-based studio formed by Microsoft to develop the Gears of War series, were also being laid off. A report from the site Lords of Gaming claimed that 343 had suffered a significant number of layoffs across the company, which are allegedly heaviest towards the individuals working on the single-player side of the studio. These claims have been corroborated by Jason Schreier. Business Insider's Ashley Stewart reported that Microsoft had been deliberately targeting those it believed to be underperforming employees in at least some parts of the company. This is Microsoft's second set of layoffs in 4 months, with 1,000 employees losing their jobs back in October as we reported. Microsoft's head of gaming Phil Spencer, for his part in an email to staff, which is obtained by Kotaku, referred to the layoffs as painful choices. Returning to 343 Industries, following the news of the studio being affected by the layoffs, several former 343 Industries staff responded and criticised Microsoft for its part in Halo Infinite's rocky development. Tyler Owens, who worked in a studio operations role during Halo 5's development before leaving to work on Apex Legends, tweeted, quote, "As a Halo fan, I'm really tired of Microsoft's business practices and policies slowly killing the thing I love." Owens then went on to allege, quote, "Between the contracting policies they abuse for tax incentives and the layoffs in face of gigantic profits and executive bonuses, they set Halo up for failure." Another notable critic is former Halo senior multiplayer designer Patrick Wren, who now works at Respawn Entertainment. He tweeted, quote, "The layoffs at 343 shouldn't have happened, and Halo Infinite should have been in a better state. The reason for both of these things is incompetent leadership up top during Halo Infinite's development, causing massive stress on those working hard to make Halo the best it can be. The people I worked every day with were passionate about Halo and wanted to make something great for the fans. They pushed for a better Halo and got laid off for it." There was another reported departure from 343 this week, as head of creative on Halo Infinite Joseph Staten, according to Jason Schreier, left the developer. Though in this instance, Staten reportedly is returning to Xbox Games Studio Publishing, where he departed in 2020 to aid in the development of Halo Infinite. Staten said on Twitter on Friday that at the moment he was 100% focused on helping those who had been laid off find new jobs. Next, Crystal Dynamics has announced it will end support for Marvel's Avengers later this year. In a blog post published on Friday, the developer said that it would publish the final update on the 31st of March 2023 and end all support on the 30th of September. However, the developer did say that after the 30th of September, single and multiplayer gameplay will continue to be available. First teased in January of 2017 by Marvel before an official reveal at E3 2019, the hype of an Avengers game was at fever pitch, given that this reveal came 2 months after Avengers Endgame had released, and the possibilities of what a title with those characters could present was very exciting with a fairly reliable studio like Crystal Dynamics behind it. The reveal trailer, as we all know, was intriguing if not astounding, and the Wish.com variants of the MCU cast would take some getting used to. But it had potential. Then it was revealed to be a live service, and the game's sound foundations began to slowly crumble. After a number of open and closed betas, which were fairly buggy, the full game released on the 4th of September 2020, receiving very mild reviews scoring in the mid-60s, and the fears that come about with live service titles were revealed, with damage-absorbing enemies, repetitive mission structure and microtransactions. It got worse for the game, as in June of 2021 a new patch for the title was released, which had the side effect of showing players' IP addresses on screen, which ended up doxing many streamers. In October of 2021, a year after the game's launch, a patch was released which not only slowed the levelling process, but added XP boosts to be bought with actual money, which went directly against what Square Enix had said before the release, when it stated microtransactions would be strictly cosmetic and customization. These boosts were later removed the following month. Stadia is officially gone. As we noted in October of last year, Google announced that the cloud streaming service would be closed after just over 3 years. To mark the closure of the service, the Stadia Twitter account posted, quote, "To our players and partners, our team, community and fans, thank you for everything. As of 11:59 PM PT today, we're signing off from the cloud. Y'all be good to each other and stay safe out there." A few days before Stadia shut, one final game was added. Worm Game, a Snake-esque title which was used to test Stadia's cloud features, was added on Friday of last week. Google has urged those who still own the service's controller to quickly switch it to Bluetooth mode so it can be used on mobile devices and PCs. Stadia becomes the latest among 280 products and services killed by Google. An update on Ubisoft now. Following the multiple stories last week, including the news of Yves Guillemot reportedly applying pressure to staff to turn the company's fortunes around, a question was included on a list submitted to Ubisoft's management ahead of a meeting this week, which was viewed by Kotaku. Quote, "The ball is now in our court. For years it's been in our court, so why did you mishandle the ball so badly so we, the workers, have to fix it for you?" Guillemot reportedly opened the meeting by addressing the question. Quote, "I heard your feedback, and I'm sorry this was perceived that way," he said according to the site sources. "When saying the ball is in your court to deliver our lineup on time and at the expected level of quality, I wanted to convey the idea that more than ever I need your talent and energy to make it happen. This is a collective journey that starts of course with myself and the leadership team to create the conditions for all of us to succeed together." In response to Guillemot's comments last week, the Ubisoft Paris section of a tech-focused union called on workers to stage a half-day walkout later this month. It also issued a list of 4 demands to Ubisoft, including an immediate 10% increase to all salaries to compensate for inflation and improved working conditions, including the introduction of a 4-day week. As always, there are a number of stories we couldn't get to this week, including a recent survey in which 75% of 2,300 game developers stated that they believe player harassment and toxic behaviour was a serious or very serious issue, with 40% of those devs saying harassment has been aimed at them or other members of their team. The full report will be linked below. Before we go, a quick roundup of the notable releases from the past week. The 19th saw the release of Ship for the Unbound for all major platforms. The PC version from 5 reviews scored an average 85%. The PS5 port from 3 outlets scored an average 83%. The Switch release from 7 publications scored an average 85%. And the Xbox Series version also scored an average 85% from 2 reviews. Also out on the 19th was Persona 3 Portable for PC, PS4, Switch and Xbox consoles, and Persona 4 Golden for PS4, Switch and Xbox consoles. Persona 3 Portable for PC from 7 reviews scored an average 81%. The PS4 port from 7 outlets scored an average 80%. The Switch version from 18 publications scored an average 81%. And the Xbox Series release from 8 reviews scored an average 86%. Persona 4 Golden on PS4 from 5 reviews scored an average 87%. Persona 4 Golden on PS4 from 5 reviews scored an average 87%. The Switch port from 20 outlets scored 91%, while the Xbox Series version from 7 publications was awarded an average 89%. The 20th saw the release of Fire Emblem Engage for the Switch. The game was awarded an average 82% from 71 outlets that reviewed the title. And finally, Monster Hunter Rise arrived on the 20th for PS4, PS5 and Xbox consoles. The PS5 port from 28 reviews scored an average 87%, while the Xbox Series release from 5 outlets also scored an average 87%. With all that said, we've reached the end of this week's episode. Be sure to leave your thoughts on any of the stories we talked about today in the comments down below, and while you're down there, let me know what games you've been playing. If you enjoyed this, please leave us a thumbs up and a subscribe, it really helps out the channel, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at BloodyBrillGames for updates on our content. I'm Sam, thank you for watching Bloody Brilliant Games. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.